And from this moment, I will pass the word to Thea so uh, she can get us started on what we are all eager to learn. Thank you. Thank you, Thea. Over to you.
Okay, let's do this. Let's see if I can show video, and I can. There I am, finally. Okay, guys, welcome. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, very good. As Adriana kindly said, I'm here to talk about accountability, clarity, and peace, because the RACI, as we published it in the BABOK, needed a little bit of updates. And I've been able to very successfully use it with the changes that I've made. And I want to convey those to you so that you can take that to work immediately and use it as well. So let's get started. Adriana did a fantastic job of introducing me. I am the founder of the BA Force Multiplier Movement, and I've been the author of a few things. I lead a few things. If you want to contact me, please contact me through LinkedIn. I'm very happy to talk to anybody. So today we're going to talk about the RACI. I've used these editions to manage the most contentious and difficult meetings, and they work very, very well. In addition to the RACI itself, I'm going to talk a few minutes about personality types, love languages, and communication theories, because who you're talking to changes how you talk. So we'll go through that. But let's talk about the agenda. The basics. We're going to go through just the basics very quickly, but I want to be sure we're all on the same page. We're going to talk about bad meetings. We're going to talk about the RACI as it was in the BABOK, the RACI methods that I use to bring accountability, clarity, and peace, other RACI versions that are out there. Then we're going to actually do a hands-on practice. So for that, I would you to come off of mute and participate. I need at least 5 people to actively participate in the exercise so we can get some hands-on experience. And then we're going to talk about personalities and appreciation. So let's begin with the basics. The goal of communication, just the goal, is to convey an idea to the receiver so that you and they share the same idea. So you have a sender and a receiver. You are always the sender. They are always the receiver if you're conveying the idea. You have your interpretation of the situation. You go through the encoding process of your experiences, your language, your second language, your knowledge, your vocabulary, and you create the message and you send it to the receiver. They, on the other hand, have to go through a decoding process using their experiences and their language and such. And they have to go through their understanding. If you stop there, you stop with an assumption. And we all know we don't do assumptions. We have to verify that they understand what we're saying. So you ask them to explain, help you understand that they understand what you said. So they go through, they create the feedback message, and you go through the decoding. Now, this is a full cycle. This does not mean that you both agree, but that you both understand what the sender was intending. That is what communication is. You have to be sure that you're both hearing the same concept. You may use different words to explain it, but you have to hear the same concept. So accountability, clarity, and peace. That's a really tall order. And it sounds like I'm giving you a technique that's a magic bullet, but it's really not. It's just a tool. So do you have this at work? Let's talk about running a meeting. How many times have people left a meeting and found out that they weren't quite sure about what they agreed to, or they don't remember saying that, or what were the decisions that we made? And sometimes it leads to this, and we don't want this. So when we wrote the BABOK 10 years ago, the RACI got put underneath the roles and permissions matrix. And as you know, roles and permissions matrix is just who can do what. It's a yes, no. There's not any levels of responsibility in there at all. But the RACI brings in this, and RACI, as you know, is an acronym: responsible, accountable, consulted, and informed. Typically, you see a RACI at the beginning of a project to identify what roles are responsible for what areas of the project. But what I'm going to talk about today is at a meeting level. It's a very, very different thing. First of all, has anybody ever seen this? Are y'all familiar with RACIs at all?
Yes, yes, Thea.
Okay. Are you comfortable with them, or is it kind of a new thing?
No, I'm pretty comfortable with that one. In every project, at the beginning, there are certain tasks, and there are multiple people who can do it. But this
Mm-hmm.
RACI outlines a set of guidelines as to who exactly should do it, and at the end of the day, the buck stops at who.
Very good. Thank you, Banesh. Kevin, you have a question or a statement? Kevin, you have your hand up? I've got several people with their hand up and I can't see them all. Does anyone else want to tell me their experience? Okay, let's move forward. So just in case you're not familiar with the RACI, responsible, accountable, consulted, and informed are the acronym for the acronym RACI. It's called a RACI matrix. Responsible, these are the people who will do the work. You can have multiple people responsible for a single line or task. Accountable, this is the one person who will be sure the task is completed. We like to say this is the one person whose neck will be choked if that task doesn't get completed. Consulted is the person who wants to have a say in some aspect of the event, and this is before the decision or the event takes place. Informed is the person who wants to be told when some portion of the event has happened. And we're going to go deeper into this whenever we actually create our RACI matrix. But it's important that you understand that each one of these people have very critical roles in getting the task accomplished, and it puts accountability on them. So this is the standard RACI matrix that you saw, years ago. You've got your single task, you've got your people, and I encourage you to also put underneath them what their roles are in case, say, Parth is reassigned to another project, someone else comes in, the QA automated testing person is the one who said they would be responsible for these. So you can go to the new QA automated testing person and say, Parth had committed to these. Can I ask you to take over that responsibility? Because it should be a easy change. However, I've added a few things to the old RACI. I added the goal of the meeting and the scope of the meeting, what was in and out of the meeting. And this is what you put in your initial invite to the meeting. You actually identify what the goal and the scope in and out are. And then I also added a couple of things. These in yellow I added. Not only do you record your tasks in your RACI, also record your decisions, because that way you can identify who agreed and who was present, and that way you've got it documented. Also, in your RACI, you're going to identify the date and time the action is due, who's going to receive that action, and by what method. Don't you hate it whenever you expect to receive something by email, but they dropped it in a Teams folder? Or you expect to see an update in Slack, but they sent you an email or dropped it on your desk? You waste so much time. This way, you don't have any of those issues. The next column is notes or next successor, and we're going to actually use that in a few minutes. Does anyone have any questions about this layout or format?
Thea, sorry, Thea, I don't seem, you being the host now, sorry about that, but I don't think that I've been able to unmute people on my side. If you have the control, could you please unmute all the participants? So I think that's why I haven't been able to enable the chat as well either. So I do apologize for this, but if you can unmute them, I believe
will
more people than
allow everyone to
Vinesh will
talk.
be able to speak.
Okay, unmuting
Sorry about
everyone
that.
now. Oh, no, it's okay. Okay. Allow to talk, allow to talk, allow to talk. Everyone is able to talk now.
And I would ask people to put their hands up, and then you manage from that. Is that suitable
Absolutely.
solution for you?
Okay. One
Thank
note,
you.
if you do have a lot of background noise, we may mute you just because of the background noise, but that's not the plan. I want you to be able to talk. So everyone, you should be able to talk now. Well, now
Yes.
I need to ask you to mute. So everyone should be able to unmute yourself if you want to. So hands up if anyone has any questions or comments about this layout, please. Okay, we'll move forward. Here is an example of a RACI that I did with someone else. I'm just going to walk through it very quickly. I don't want to get into details, but I want you to see the example before we create our own. This example was the goal of the meeting was to determine the remaining tasks to be accomplished and by whom for the upcoming Thanksgiving meal. We have Thanksgiving every year, the end of November, and it's a big deal. It's pretty traditional, but people have their variations. These things are in scope for this meeting, and these things are out of scope. They've already been decided. We don't have to worry about them anymore. Some people may not have known they were decided, so this is a great way to lay it out. And then we have our tasks and decisions. I like to make my decisions stand out so that it's obvious that it's different and identify who agreed. I also have the tasks in pretty much order. The task for this first one is provide table settings and serving utensils. The date, it was the same date for all of it, so I'll put the date up there instead of in each of these. But if it's different dates, you put the date in its own line. The time range is noon to 2:45. The received is going to be delivered and set up in the dining hall afternoon and by 2:45, so they know exactly what the parameters are. This person, Dixon, is accountable and responsible. That means that Dixon is the one going to spearhead this. They're going to lead this effort. Parth and Andrew are going to help Dixon accomplish this task, but it's Dixon's job to be sure that this is accomplished at this time and date. We have a couple of other things here, but I'll send this deck out up to Elena so that she can share it with everyone. Okay, so this is the RACI matrix that we're going to go through to, and I'm going to open up my this is what we want to actually practice on. So the goal of this meeting today with you are all members of my organization, my company, or the company that I work with you at. We're going to have a department outing. It's going to be on the 18th of this month from 9 to 5, which is a Friday. The scope of the meeting, we got to talk about transportation, games, food, communication, and is anything else going to come up? What we've already decided is we have 50 people. They are employees and spouses that in the list has been confirmed. The destination has been identified and paid for. The date and time has been established, and we are leaving from the office and returning to the office. So I need to know who would like to be in my meeting. Give me your name and I'll put you in here. And you're welcome to come off mute and just speak up.
Yeah, so Thea, so when you say out of scope, it means that it's not up for discussion right now, right? It's already fixed. Is the
Yes.
meaning of out of scope?
That is what's already, yes, it's already been decided. We don't need to talk about it in this meeting.
Okay, okay.
Banesh, would you like to participate in our meeting?
Yeah, I would.
Okay. Okay, I need 4 more. Who else would like to participate?
Happy to be in your meeting. Adriana
Excellent.
here.
And Adriana, okay. I need 3 more.
Sneha, it's Sneha here.
Thank you. 2 more. Alan, I can see that you're trying to talk, but I'm not hearing anything.
I'll go on then.
Okay, very good. Alan is in the meeting.
I don't mind either.
And who is the last one?
I think it may be me, Anne.
Okay, very good. Okay, you folks, you're in my meeting. Thank you very much. So before this meeting, I would send out an invite that says this information. This is what we're going to be talking about. So you come to the meeting prepared. You come to the meeting oriented on the task. As I begin the meeting, especially if if RACI is new in your organization, I'm going to begin the meeting by saying, you've received the goal. You know the scope is transportation, games, food, communication, and whatever else we need to decide for the department outing on the 18th. I'm going to manage this in a RACI, and I'm going to be displaying this during the meeting so everyone can see it, which is particularly important if you have a distributed team. You're not all in the same room. Either way, it's good to have it. That way they know it's being recorded. I'm also going to explain what a RACI is, just in case they don't know: responsible, accountable, consulted, and informed. And I'm going to explain those. I'll give them a handout if they need that. And I'll be sharing that handout with y'all as well. And then I'm going to say, at the end of the meeting, I'll review what we noted in the meeting, and then I'll be sending it out to everyone in the meeting and all informed or impacted parties. What this does is magical. It does this thing where you know that it's been recorded, and now you know everyone knows exactly what you committed to. It creates accountability without you having to walk around and carrying a big stick and saying, you promised you would do this, or you committed to this on this date. It's all there. No one has to worry about, is it going to be done? Now, you as a project leader, or as a business analyst, as the one running the team, or as the one just taking notes, you might find that something hasn't been done yet. You're coming up to the deadline. You might need to say, hey, I noticed it hasn't been received yet. Do you need any help? Just kind of remind them in case they forget. But that's the worst thing you can, that you're going to have to do. So the first thing we're going to do for the department outing for my people in the meeting, and if anyone joins the meeting later, they get a column. Don't let them not have a column. They have a responsibility to be recorded. The first thing we need to do for Vinesh, Adriana, Sneha, Alan, and Anne is we need to talk about transportation. How are we going to get these 50 people from the office and back to the office? Who's going to make that decision, and who's going to make those arrangements? I need somebody to take responsibility to say, I want to be involved in that.
I can take it up.
Okay, you're going to be one of the responsible people. But is this something that we need more than one person to manage?
Yeah,
Yes.
I think this would be more than one person because people will be coming from different places, right?
They're going to be coming from the office and going back to the office. So
Okay.
they're going to come to the office, drop off their cars, theoretically get on a bus.
Okay.
Okay, Vinesh, do you want to be responsible in this task as well? Do you want to work with Sneha?
Yeah, I also would
Okay.
want to be responsible.
Okay, anybody else want to participate in that task? Okay, very good. Since we need to be able to publicize what we're doing and what the arrangements are in the communication, we probably need to get this identified pretty soon. Today is the 3rd. The event is the 18th. Sneha, you spoke up first. Do you want to be accountable on this as well?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Okay, so what is the time that you think that you're going to be able to know what the arrangements are and be able to communicate that to us?
A week from when it's assigned.
Okay. So a week from today is going to be the 10th. So we're going to say 10 at close of business.
Yes.
Okay. Close of business. And I tell you what, let's go ahead and talk about communication here, and we'll come back. Who's going to manage communication for this? This would be putting out the newsletter to the employees by whatever means there is, with all of the information. So you've got to gather all the information and put it out so everyone knows what's going on, where to meet, what to wear, what the event's going to be, etc. Who's going to manage communication?
I
I can do that. I'm sorry, you can do that.
All right, we can do that together.
We can do that
Okay.
together.
Okay, I got Adriana and was that Anne?
Yeah.
Okay, does anyone else want to help with communication?
I'll go. I'll do that as well.
Okay, very good. Thank you, Alan. Okay, the 3 of you will will create the communication. When do you want to send out the communication for the event on the 18th? How far in advance does everyone need that information?
Gonna have to do it after the 11th because that's when the transportation arrangements are done. So as soon as possible, give them a week, maybe the 11th.
Okay. So do you think close of business on the 10th in one day you can get all that information together if they give it to you on the 10th and get it public?
Well, that's same
maybe.
for the close of play on the 11th. So we have one day
Yeah.
to work, review, and double check.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
assuming that it's just the transportation that we're going to be communicating, we'll probably want to communicate maybe some other things. So it
Oh,
might
yes.
depend on content from some of the other activities. So
Right.
they would all have to have close dates of the 10th as well, if that would be the case.
Okay.
Yes, for example, there might be dependencies on whether the food to be served. They might ask people to let us know if they have dietary restrictions. So we need to see who is going to do that, so we
That's
can
true.
communicate properly. So yes, we might need to change that due date.
I think there might be multiple sets of communications, like one just describing, hey, this event's coming up. Keep a watch out for, more details. And then maybe a second round with more details, and maybe a third where you could ask for more restrictions and food allergies. So I think there'll be multiple rounds of communication.
Absolutely.
For this exercise, let's make a preliminary communication and a final communication.
Yeah.
So you're going to say this event's coming up, and then you're going to say the details will be presented on what date do you want to present the final communication on? Would that be, how about Monday, the 14th?
Virtually, there will be the weekend in the middle when we would have thought people won't be in the office. Should we close the communication by the 15th, close of play? So we have 1 day, 2 days to review and see if anything has changed, or if we have to chase any information, if you are waiting to hear from people, or would that be too tight?
Well, as long as you do the preliminary, they know it's coming up. So I feel like the 15th for the final would be acceptable. Okay, and I'm going to say close of business on these as well. Unless you want me to give a different time. Okay. Same people responsible for communication for both preliminary and final. So let's go back to transportation arrangements. We probably should have started with communication since that's the linchpin on everything. Transportation arrangements, Neha, you're going to have the information by the 10th, close of business. You're going to forward that information to communication, which is going to be Adriana.
Yeah.
And Adriana, how do you want to receive that? Is that by email?
By email, that's fine.
Okay. And I'm going to put in here by email, and I'm going to put Adriana at co.com because we want to be very specific. What if somebody has more than one email? What if you don't know their email? Just put it in there. Okay. Are there any other notes that we need to make for transportation? Switching back to transportation, are there any considerations? Does anyone have any handicaps, any challenges in mobility in the whole team? Is that a consideration for our transportation?
Yeah, that would be a consideration. If somebody wants like maybe a wheelchair or something.
Or if we need a lift or they need to, something like that. Can I ask someone to pretend like you have that consideration and we could put you in here as someone to be consulted and informed? Anne, would you do that for me?
Of course.
Okay, so Anne is going to be consulted and informed, and I'm going to put mobility issues. Now, it's critical that you put in here exactly what they want to be consulted and informed about. Because if you have a complex task, you don't want to go, now what does she want to know about? Or what were we going to ask her? Or at what point do we bring her in? This way, you know exactly what it is. So, Anne, before they make a decision, they're going to say, Anne, what do you need for us to know whenever we are trying to figure out which bus to get, or if we are going to be unloading or loading at a specific place? That way they'll come to you and to ask about the information that you have about mobility issues. Doesn't have to be your mobility issues, but you're, maybe a team lead and you got someone that has that issue. So are there any notes that we need to make about transportation? How about where's the transportation going to be picked up from and dropped off at? Can we say it's the Circle Drive in the employee parking lot?
Yes, we can say that.
Okay.
So the exact point from where all the employees will be picked up.
Yes.
Pick up and drop point.
Okay. That way communication doesn't have to go. Now, where was it going to be? You've got it right there. Is there any other information that we need to know about transportation? We're going to leave the office and return at exactly at 9 and 5. So we have that information already identified. We know we have 50 people. Are there any unknowns that we haven't discussed?
Time, at what time the bus or the transportation will be leaving and what time they need to board back.
Okay. Let's say, well, we know that the bus is going to be leaving at 9 o'clock. Transportation, how long do you need for people to be loading?
Yeah, at least 20 minutes.
Okay, so let's do transportation loading. And we already have this completed. It's going to be 20 minutes prior to departure. And again, same people are involved. So this is a decision that's been made. So I'm going to make this decision. Does anyone have any concerns with? Adriana, are you good with this decision? Is 20 minutes good for you? Okay.
I consider it's fine, yeah.
Okay. Neha, are you good with 20 minutes?
Yes.
Okay. And Vinesh, are you good with 20 minutes?
Yes, I'm okay with that one as well.
Okay. Alan, are you good with 20 minutes?
Yeah.
Okay. And Anne, is 20 minutes okay for you and the people that you're managing with mobility issues?
I don't think it will be. I think we'll probably need a little bit longer because they may have some issues
Okay.
getting on.
What's good for you?
So I think you maybe do staggered departure. So maybe the people on my team who have the issues will arrive maybe 30 minutes or will be, so in our communication, anybody with disability issues be arriving sort of,
Okay.
30 minutes before rather than 20 minutes before.
Okay. Is that okay with everyone else?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that, Anne. That was very well thought out. Okay, so here is our decision. The loading is going to be 20 minutes prior to departure. For most people, disability issues arrive 30 minutes prior to departure. And once again, is everyone agreed on that?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, decision made. Okay, back to communication. You're going to do a preliminary communication on the 11th after we know what the transportation is. And you're going to do a final communication on the 15th. Is communication going out by email or you're going to hand out flyers? How are you going to deliver that?
Email and work intranet.
Yeah, I thought internet, it could be a Teams folder or any type of Viva Engage or any type of sites where they interact, isn't it?
Okay. I'm gonna say Teams folder just to have a single place for it to be.
Yep.
In my experience, having it more than one place means that if you have to make changes, you get in trouble, might not be able to make changes instantaneously in all places. So you're going to send out to email, and is there a company distribution list?
There is
Yeah.
a company distribution list, yeah.
Okay, so we know exactly how it's going to be, and I'm going to say the Teams folder called company events. That way we know exactly which Teams folder it is. Okay. And then the final is going to be distributed the same way, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. And notes on preliminary, we're going to have transportation in there. And we'll probably come back to what else is going to be in there. And we'll check with final after we get everyone else. Okay, so we only have 4 lines so far. We have taken care of transportation. We've taken care of communication. Who's going to be bringing or providing or arranging games for our outing?
Do we have a venue already? Is the
We have
venue
a
in
venue.
scope?
We have a venue, but they are not providing games.
Okay.
They are not providing games. They are not providing food. In other groups, I've said it's a dude ranch, and they've got horses, and they've got fences, and they've got areas inside and outside for people. They've got a kitchen, but they're not providing the games or the food. So who is going to arrange to bring games or have them provided? Can I get a volunteer? We've got a few people in this meeting. I bet you out of these 5, one of you is going to volunteer.
I can volunteer, it's fine. I have lots of games. I have lots of board games in my
Kate,
cupboard.
was that Kate or Anne?
It was Anne, but if Kate wants to do it, please, Kate, do.
Oh, well, I saw Kate's name come up. Okay. Anne, can you do it by yourself? Do you need more people?
I probably need at least 1 or 2 extras just to make sure the games I'm bringing are good.
Okay. And laying them out and teaching people how to use them maybe, and then getting them gathered back up and bringing them back. That's not something that's easy to do for 50 people. So who else can help Anne with this?
I could also be responsible for this one. I have darts at home, so I'd like people who like to play darts.
Awesome. Thank you, Vanesh. Is there someone else that can help Anne and Vanesh?
Yeah, I can help them lay out and sort of get people organized and things like that.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Okay, so y'all are going to actually be bringing the games that you have, not arranging them. So bringing games from home. That's our note there. And how are we going to get the games to the venue? Are we going to put them on the bus? It kind of makes sense, doesn't it?
It does.
Yeah,
but
yeah,
don't we
like so,
actually
like
want...
along.
Okay.
Sorry.
Do we need to make any special arrangements to get them on the bus? I don't know what size these games are. Do we need extra transportation room? You know, the buses with the space underneath? Is it something you can put in the seat beside you? What do we need for the bus?
We need storage space on the bus, but if we want a really good event, shouldn't we actually have the games already there so when the people come to the venue, everything's set out for them to do, because otherwise they're going to be waiting around for us to actually put the games out.
That's true. So do you want to go to the venue the day before to drop them off?
Or the morning of the event, the day of the event, but earlier.
Okay, so do you want to do that by yourself?
Yeah, that'd be fine. Just take them and then, you know, we can have them there and then set them up maybe a little bit earlier.
Okay. And deliver 1 hour before event begins.
Yep.
Which is going to be 10:18 at 8 a.m. And that's you doing that?
Yeah.
Does anyone else, Vanesh and Alan, do y'all want to
Yes.
ride with her?
Yes, I'll go with her.
Okay. And Alan, you good with that too? Did we lose Alan?
Sorry, I was
Okay.
muted. Yeah, I was thinking forward to the next sort of tasks, and I'm thinking, right, well, might need people to sort of stay and actually set up the game so that everything's there, and that's not going to be a sort of trivial task.
Right. Well, that's why we have 3 of you. Do you feel like we need more than 3 people to deliver them, set them up, and then later gather them up and bring them home?
Might need. I don't know how many until we decide what games and how many there are. It's difficult to sort of know how many people we'll need, but certainly more people would be helpful.
Okay, I'll put here, may need more people to help. And let's talk about transport to the venue. Anne, are you going to be driving the 3 of y'all and the games?
I don't drive, so I think I'd need someone to actually do the driving.
Okay. Banesh or Alan, would y'all be driving?
Yeah, I can try.
Okay. Okay. You're going to be delivering at 1 hour before the event. I'll let you figure out what time you're leaving as such. Okay, games bringing from home. We got that taken care of. And we have transport to the venue. Transport from the venue is going to be the same thing, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, and the transport is going to be gather up and depart at 5 o'clock. Do you need more people to help with that as well? Possibly. We can revisit this.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And same people involved, and Vanessa, you're going to be driving home as well. And let me
That is
change
correct.
that from.
Just to be clear, if Vinesh is driving, are we meeting Vinesh at the same place as the bus is going to depart from in the car park and dropping off back there, or is
Yes,
Vinesh
yes.
going to
So
come
we
round
will
our
be,
each?
no, like not exactly. I will not be meeting you at the parking lot. I'll be coming to your address and then picking you up, and then we go from there.
Okay.
Right. Okay.
Because it doesn't make doesn't add much value. Like if you bring the games from your home to the office, and that will be another task, right? So like I'll bring the car and I'll come to your address, and then we can go from there.
Okay. I've got that. Transport to venue from individual homes. Transport from venue to individual homes. Vanesh, I will leave it up to you to get their addresses and directions. Okay. Okay, we've got games taken care of. Now let's talk about food. Who is going to either make food and bring it for 50 people, arrange for caterers to deliver the food? Who's going to take care of that?
I can
I can take
help,
it.
or if someone
Yeah.
else leads.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think we will
I'm be involved
need.
in that as well.
Okay.
Yeah, I think
Thank
we
you,
will need
Alan.
2 to 3 people for this. So
And Neha, you want to be involved in that as well? Okay.
yeah,
Who among you
sure.
wants to lead that?
I could do it.
Okay. Thank you very much. Now I want to point out to y'all, I was afraid Adriana was going to speak up here because look at this. Adriana is already the one that's accountable for 2 things. And if she said, I can do that, it's like, you've got to share the wealth whenever it takes on leadership. Because if one person, some of us are helpers, guys. We love to help, but we also volunteer too fast and don't let other people volunteer. Whenever I volunteer for too many things, I don't necessarily get all of those things done at the highest level of quality that I could. So you
That's
got to
very
let
true.
people step up. So for food, are we going to have a caterer? How are we going to do this? Neha, what do you
Yeah,
think we do?
yeah, we'll have a caterer deliver the food to at the event.
Okay, we got a caterer. We would like to know who the caterer is for communication. So, I mean, for instance, if it were a cowboy horse ranch thing and you're having barbecue delivered, we would want to put that in the communication. So
Mhm.
can you let our communications folks know what it is you're going to have delivered, what kind of food, things like that?
Yes.
Okay. And
I also need to check for restrictions, allergies. So,
okay,
Yeah, and
Yeah.
something I thought that could be part of the preliminary communication is, for example, part of the communication could be a link to a form where people would tick if they have any restrictions, if they have any allergies or anything. So that could be part of the preliminary. We would collect that information and pass on to the caterer.
okay. So got transportation and preliminary. Questionnaire.
You can mention like yeah, preferences and food allergies like that.
Yeah.
Okay, you got all of that. I don't think I'm spelling allergies right there. I apologize, but I'm going to keep going. Okay,
Okay.
for caterer, I would like to have someone volunteer, Vanesh or Ann volunteer to say, I've got someone in my group or a spouse of someone in my group that has food allergies. Would one of y'all step up for that for me?
I've got food allergies myself, so it's fine.
Okay, so you want to be consulted and informed regarding food allergies. So as they're talking to the caterer and the caterer says, yes, I've got these things, before they make a decision, you want to be consulted as to, will those things, one of those things cause a problem? Nut allergies, you know, there's so many different allergies. So we want to talk about that. That looks better. And then after they get the food identified, agreed with the caterer, you want to check it again as an informed person to say, yes, everything's good. I can let my people that with food allergies know that we were considerate of their needs and that we are meeting their needs. Let's see, notes. We have food allergies. I'm not ever going to get that spelled right. Oh, well. Okay, we've got food allergies. The caterer is
And
going to be
also we need to make sure like preferences, like there are some people who could only eat like vegetarian, right?
right. Okay. Questionnaire food allergies. I'm going to put food preferences.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're taking care of all of those considerations in that questionnaire. And
Yep.
then we are taking care of looking at what the food choices and selections are whenever we talk about the caterer. Okay, we've talked about everything that we had on our list. Is there anything that we've missed?
Might want to consider what time we want the caterer to deliver the food, and also whether it's going to be whether it's going to be already hot or whether we need to use the facilities on site to heat it up.
Okay. So the food is going to be delivered, let's say it's going to be on the 18th because we don't want it delivered the day before. Is it going to be hot? Are they going to take care of that for us, or do we need to take care of that?
I would prefer for them to deliver it at the point of serving.
Okay.
So we
I'll
can
let-
concentrate on the tasks on the day with the group.
Okay. So the food's going to
Well,
be
that's
delivered.
me.
Is it going to be delivered at 9 o'clock whenever everyone gets there for a breakfast meal and then a lunch meal later and then a dinner meal later? Are they going to do a 3-tier thing? Are there going to be drinks available throughout the day? All those things need to be considered, but let's just talk about delivery. Are they going to have it delivered before 9 o'clock, or are they going to just show up at lunchtime?
I would suggest, well, sorry, go on.
Oh no, I was just saying that I prefer that the same caterer do the lunch and the breakfast, but at the time around breakfast and lunch, so they can deliver the breakfast items during breakfast time and the lunch items during lunch.
Okay.
Yeah,
It's similar.
I think also you need to probably consider maybe at least one break, depending on the timing of breakfast. That could be counted as a break, but certainly in the afternoon you probably need it. So, so whether that be teas or coffees and biscuits, that kind of thing.
Okay, so I have breakfast delivery completed at 9 a.m. so that it's ready to go.
Mm-hmm.
Does that work?
Mm-hmm.
And then lunch delivery.
What time do we expect everyone to arrive at the venue at, because they're departing at 9?
They will depart at 9. It's going to take 30 minutes for them to get there. So whenever
Yeah,
the
so if the caterer's delivering stuff at 9 o'clock, it might, like they'll need to make sure it's still hot or palatable for 9:30.
I tell you what, let's set up the caterers to be on site responsible throughout the day.
Yeah,
Yes,
I think
that's
that's
fine.
a best idea.
Mhm. So they make sure that all the drinks are, if they are hot drinks, they are always hot and all the rest.
Okay.
I hope our budget stretches to this.
Oh, it's good.
Mm.
I took care of it for you.
Thanks.
Bang goes a
So
bonus.
Obviously not civil service.
so we've got food and drinks provided by the caterer. They're going to be on-site responsible. Let me expand this a little bit. We've got breakfast delivery completed at 9:30. I'm going to say breakfast setup completed since they're going to be on site. We have lunch set up. Oh, did you want to snack midday? Or do you just want snacks throughout the day?
I think it probably, I think it's probably useful just to sort of have something set up that people can sort of, use as they need.
Next
I'm
throughout the
assuming
day.
there's a budget somewhere that we need to adhere to. So
Oh, yes, we've got a very good budget. It's unlimited at this point, so we're good. So lunch setup completed at noon. And then do y'all want dinner to be served as well, or are we going to say we're going to take them home and let them eat on their own? We have an unlimited budget. We can do it if you want to.
Well, on a realistic basis, usually people don't take food home, I would say. But I think we can do whatever we decide to do, isn't it, today?
If we're doing a dinner setup, then that means it's going to eat. If everyone's going back at 5 o'clock, which is the original sort of plan, then it means
Right.
it's going to eat into the day. So it's going to limit what activities we can actually sort of do.
I agree. So we are not going to, I'm sorry, that should be drinks. So we're not going to be serving dinner. We're going to be serving breakfast, snacks and drinks throughout the day, and then lunch.
Mm-hmm.
Does everyone agree to that?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, very good.
Yep.
Okay, we are running close on time, and I want to honor your time on this. So I want to add one more thing. Because we have food allergies, because it's an outing, and because people act differently whenever they're away from the office, we've got medical concerns. Very often with food allergies, people have to carry an EpiPen or something like that. But with the other medical concerns, I'd like to suggest that we have a ambulance on site with technicians there, just in case anything happens. Somebody gets an upset stomach, somebody breaks a bone. That way liability for the organization is covered. Does that sound good?
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe a bit worrying for people sort of arriving on site.
Well,
What happens at football matches, so
Yeah.
it's fine.
Yeah.
Besides,
Tend to hide.
we'd need to risk assess it anyway.
Yeah.
We need a proper formal risk assessment because it comes from work. So there are certain things that would fall out of our risk assessment that we'd need to put on here.
I agree. So ambulance on site, they need to be fed. Food and drinks. Neha, can you get them fed during the day?
Yes.
Okay. That way they have that. And so who can arrange the ambulance? Will somebody be responsible for that for us?
Yeah, I'll get a hold of them.
Thank you. Okay. Now we need to go back through it one more time. Transportation arrangements. We need close of business completed, sent to Adriana, and we know where the transportation is going to be. We do have somebody that has mobility issue concerns. Any questions on that, or anybody else should be consulted or informed?
No, I wouldn't add anything.
Okay. We made a decision on transportation of what time we're going to be loading. Everyone agreed to that. We did communication, 2 different communication sessions. One's preliminary. It's going to have the transportation and food information, and announcement of the event. And then the final, we'll see what the results are and be able to announce that in the final. We know who's responsible for that. For communication, do we have anyone else that needs to be involved, or anybody that agreed to do this that can't do it? Everybody good?
Good.
Adriana? Okay, good.
Yeah.
Games, we've got 3 different lines on games. We're going to bring the games from home. Anne is going to be accountable and responsible. Alan and Vinesh are going to help with that. And then transport, Vinesh is going to provide the transport on that. In fact, because Vinesh is doing that, I'm going to change that to you being accountable and responsible. Is that okay with you, Anne?
Yeah, that's okay.
Okay. And we know that we're going to deliver it 1 hour before the event begins, because you're going to have to set it up, and then you're going to gather it up and depart at home. You're going to come from their homes. If you feel like you need more people, do you still feel like you need more people? Or do you feel like you need to do an evaluation of the game before you can get that information?
We need an evaluation. We need to work out what games we're bringing.
Okay.
Because if they're just straightforward board games, we might not need that much. But if it's like Jenga or darts, which, you know, risk assessments and all those kind of things as well.
Absolutely. We
So
have
I've
to
got
do.
I like risk assessments.
I do too. Okay, and then food and drinks, we know a caterer is going to be on site. They're going to be responsible for taking care of everything. They're going to be providing breakfast, snacks and drinks, and then lunch. We're going to be considering food allergies, and based on food allergies and people possibly getting injured, we're going to have an ambulance on site. They're going to be there from 9 to 5. Snea is going to take them food during the day, and let's put them in the venue's Circle Drive, because there are trees there to give them shade. Do we have anything else that we need to know about this event? Okay, guys, I think we're good. So at the end of the meeting, we've gone through everything. I'll be sending this out to everyone that were in the meeting, everyone that's going to be impacted, that's helping organize this. And then we will be looking for you to be providing this information, for instance, transportation arrangements to this email at this date and time. Does anyone have any questions?
I find amazing, because at this point we don't have any questions, because everything is very clear.
It's very
what
clear.
we discussed, every single decision, every single action captured and detailed to the level of granularity that we need to operate successfully. So yes, it's I like it.
It
Very
shows
good.
the need. So I was going to say, it shows the need to have an impartial organizer. So you're meeting needs somebody who's impartial, who might not actually take on responsibilities as well. That's quite good.
It works very well. I tell you what, let me ask you to hold 1 second. I got to chat to my other people. They want me to join meetings. Can you believe that? They're good with me being 2 more minutes. I'm also going to really very briefly flash something else up here. And I want you to understand this. When we're talking to people, you have to speak to them in their language. But it's not just the language that they grew up with. It's also their personality. It's also their experiences. It's also how stressed they are right now. Whenever you're talking to someone, and I liked it, the Myers-Briggs, there's lots of different personality things, and there's a lot of people that have a lot of comments or opinions. I like this because I understand it. But I want to draw your attention to just one thing. Whenever you're making decisions, people that are strong as judges, they're very organized. If they say they're going to do something, they're going to do it. And in fact, if they are coming close to the deadline, they will send you a message that says, you know, I know I'm getting close. It's 5 minutes away. I will have it there on time. Or they'll say, I'm running late. It's going to be 30 minutes late, but they're very accountable. They're very responsible, and it's wonderful to work with them. And I really appreciate that. However, there's another side to the personality, people who are perceivers. They really don't want to make decisions. They don't want to come to a conclusion. They do not want to commit to something. They want to just keep everything spontaneous and flexible. Many people that love Agile are perceivers. But whenever you're speaking to them, you have to speak to them a little bit differently. And the only way to tell is watch their actions. When you speak to them about something and you say, I need this by close of business on Friday, many times perceivers will say, they're not even going to look at it until lunch on Monday. I'll have it to them before then. So if you need it at close of business on Friday for a reason, you have to say two more things. You have to say, I need to close of business on Friday because at 6 o'clock on Friday, I'm going to be reviewing that and I'm going to be working on it all weekend. It's critical that I have your information. You have to let them know the criticality of them meeting that commitment. So saying those extra words is going to save you a lot of heartache. I just want to bring that to your attention. And I also want to bring to your attention the 5 love languages. The 5 languages of appreciation in the workplace is the workplace version of the 5 love languages. If you don't know your love language, we receive love or appreciation one way, and we demonstrate it sometimes a different way. Ask people, if you do a fantastic job, how would you like for me to express that to you? Because you're going to be surprised at what they value. If you show appreciation in a way that they don't value, it's not going to go over as well. If you show them appreciation in a way that they do value, it's a big deal. Okay, so be considerate of yourself and know what you need, and be considerate of other people. And the very last thing is this. This is the Maslow's hierarchy of needs. We flow through this. And if you don't know what it is, I'm happy to meet with you offside to talk to you about it. But everyone needs this stuff in the bottom just to survive. We need the stuff in the bottom. And if you don't have it, you're desperately looking for it. And some of us come to work because we have lives and we pretend like everything is fine. And it's not always fine. And you put on a brave face. You have people that you work with that are doing this right now. They're living here in the bottom. They're struggling and they're doing the best they can. If you find people that are not as talkative in meetings, they're not contributing, they may even look angry or distracted, just come alongside of them. As business analysts, we provide empathy, and this is part of the thing that we do to help people. So give people a break, come alongside them, be patient with them, and you're going to have their loyalty. It works wonderfully. I've seen it happen 100 times. If you are one of the people that are living in the bottom, I'm happy to come alongside you. So as you're going through meetings, trying to get things accomplished, be considerate of their personality, how they need appreciation, and where they are in their lives right now. That's all I have for now. I'm sorry for making us go over. I hope y'all have enjoyed this, and I hope it's been beneficial. I will be sending this to Adriana so that she can forward everything out to y'all if y'all want it. Do I have any questions?
Thea, I just want to take this opportunity before you jump, you have to go, but to thank you for your time, for sharing this with us. It's really, I can see this minimizing the long minutes for meetings that sometimes we circulate, and they are time consuming, they are hard to follow. So that it really simplifies communication to a very great level. So thank you very much for sharing that. And yes, my daughter had introduced me to the love languages, but I have not thought of applying that on a business context. So that for me personally, it's very helpful. Thank you so much.
My pleasure. You know,
Appreciated.
appreciation is the #1 reason people leave jobs. They don't feel appreciated. We can solve that, guys. Okay. I look forward to the next time I get to interact with y'all. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you
Thank
very much.
you.
Thank you so much,
Bye.
everyone.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thanks very much, everybody.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.